The Supreme Court of Canada ruled against Ottawa's Bill C-69, which is the legislation on the environmental effects of major developments. 5 of the 7 judges ruled that most of it was unconstitutional because it seeks to regulate activities within provincial jurisdiction. Now, to chat about this and other hot-button issues which are impacting Albertans is Alberta Premier Danielle Smith, who joins us now from Calgary. Premier Smith, welcome to Bridge City News.
Thanks, Hal.
Now, you look at this as a victory, but Federal Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault says the 5-2 ruling is just the opinions of the judges, and his government's going to, well, we're going to move ahead anyway, move forward anyway. Your thoughts?
Well, they're wrong. I mean, the way the Supreme Court works is that you, as a province, put forward a reference case to your own Court of Appeal, which we did, and we won that, and then it goes on to the Supreme Court, and we won that as well.
Now, the man who's been hammering the federal government on the recent record is the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, Pierre Poilievre. And Mr. Poilievre joins us now from Edmonton. Pierre, welcome to Bridge City News.
Great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about your Canada is broken comment. Many would argue that the rising cost of living has absolutely nothing to do with the Trudeau government, but it's more of a worldwide crisis. How do you respond to that?
It's worldwide among all stupid governments.
He was inside of Centre Block at the time around 9:30 this morning when he heard shots fired. He was actually taking a group of students and moms and dads on a tour of Parliament Hill when he heard shots fired. They hit the ground. A security escorted them out at the same time. He says they're used to fire drills, but nothing like they've ever seen before. Police were there with their guns drawn and the long rifles at the same time. They were escorted out, and he says in his 18 years as a parliamentarian, he's never seen anything like it. The conditions have simply been horrendous. He's been beaten, according to Amnesty International. When I was speaking to the Secretary General, Alex Neve, beaten to every inch of his life. His leg has been cut open. He's had a hard time walking. He's had a blood clot. So it's in pretty rough condition right now. Thanks so much for joining us. Communities along Florida's southwestern coast have begun assessing the damage from Tropical Storm Ian as coastal floodwaters begin to fade. In one hard-hit county, utility service have been completely wiped out, forcing the sheriff's office to use cell phones to handle emergency calls and limiting the capabilities of dispatchers. After breaking a heat record on Wednesday, the temperature in Lethbridge was considerably cooler today. Jeanette Rocher is now with a full look at the weather picture. Jeanette, it may be a little bit cooler, but still fairly warm for this time of year.
So true.
The Salvation Army here in Lethbridge is showcasing an Advent art gallery at their worship center. The artwork, which features prints from American artist Scott Erickson, are inspired of his artistic interpretation of the Christmas story. An official with the Salvation Army says the artist creatively visualizes the story of Jesus coming down to earth as an infant.
His book is actually called Honest Advent.
And then there were 3.
Patrick Brown, Christine Elliott, and Monty McNaughton, the trio that vows to go to the finish line in the Ontario PC leadership race.
Please join with me. Better days are ahead. Thank you very much.
Elliott is seen as the front runner in this race, getting a big name endorsement minutes before the debate began at an Ottawa college.
I am very excited to be here at Algonquin College and to endorse Christine Elliott to be the next leader of the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario. I know Christine. She is smart, she is tough, she works hard, she has the vision, the dedication, and the strong team.
But Brown is charging hard, and he had a lot of fans last night in Ottawa.
And I am committed to doing the grunt work to make sure we build our party again.
One of the hot-button issues covered last night was the Liberal sex ed agenda. Brown says the government should focus more on other subjects when it comes to our children's education.
We want to see not teaching gender identity in grade 1, but teaching, how about a focus on reading, writing, and arithmetic? How about teaching... How about teaching financial literacy in high school or skilled trades?
McNaughton took a tough line on public sector pay raises.
We have well over 1 million people in the public sector payrolls in Ontario. Sometimes we have to say no. And I think as a party we have to stand firm and fight for taxpayers in the province of Ontario. We can't afford to continue giving 5% and 6% pay increases.
But the bottom line for the next PC leader, rebuild a party that is just 1/10 the size it was a decade ago.
Now we have to grow significantly. That's why I think we need to reach out to a whole group of individuals and people groups that haven't heard our message before. I call it building the big blue tent, and that is inviting anyone who shares our progressive conservative values to come and join us.
There are still 2 more debates coming up in Toronto in April and May. Party members will find out who won those debates and who the new leader of the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario will be on May the 8th. Sodexo, it's one of the largest global companies you've probably never heard of, and their reach is far and wide, with diverse and skilled workers all over the planet, from cleaning your dorm rooms to making your meals, to even offering quality of life services at your local hospital. I'm Hal Roberts, and today on Canadian Business Spotlight, I'm going to talk to the president of Sodexo about what is at the core of Sodexo's success.